Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
I'm Mrs. Barrett from PASS, Physical Activity and Sports Specialist, and we hope you're keeping safe, active and healthy at home or at school. This PE lesson is aimed at children in years 3 and 4, so lower key stage 2, and it is a health and fitness PE lesson. In this particular fitness lesson, we're going to be learning about the importance of warming up and what we have to do in a high quality warm-up. So for this PE lesson, you don't need any equipment, just a clear space somewhere in your home that you can do the activity. I'm choosing to do the activity in my trainers. It's up to you if you want to do that the same, or you can do it in socks or bare feet. So if you'd like to pause the video and clear some space, and we'll get ready for our lesson. Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to be thinking about why we warm up. We always warm up before a PE lesson or before we take part in any sporting activities at school. But what's the point? Why do we do it? And often we do it because the teacher asks us to do it, but maybe we don't really know why we're doing it. So I'd like us to think about that first of all. And if you've got somebody at home that you can talk to, maybe a sibling or a parent or guardian at home, maybe you could ask them about what their thoughts about why we would warm up before a PE lesson or at the start of a PE lesson. And hopefully we can share some of those ideas. So if you want to pause the video, have a little chat, or if you're on your own, have a little think, maybe scribble a few things down, and then see how many of those relate to the ones that I'm thinking of too. Okay, so why are we warming up? A lot of the time people say it's to stop us getting hurt, stop us getting injured. And that can absolutely be the case, because we need to make sure that our muscles are nice and warm before we use them a lot and before we stretch them. So in order to make sure our muscles are nice and warm, we need to get that blood pumped around the body. So a big part of the warm-up is doing something to raise our pulse or heart rate. And that gets the blood moving around the body, particularly to the muscles that we really need them, and makes that blood nice and warm, and in turn makes the muscles nice and warm. And we also need to work those muscles to make sure that they're stretched nicely, so we don't overstretch them in our PE lesson or our sports activity. We also need to make sure our brain is nicely switched on for our PE lesson or our sporting activity. So part of the warm-up is to get the brain in check and in gear too. So if we just summarise those things, we need to start with something that's going to move the blood around the body to make sure our body is nice and warm, and particularly those working muscles. We need to make sure the muscles are nicely stretched so that we don't overstretch them and hurt ourselves, and we need to get the brain in gear and in check, ready for our PE lesson. So we're going to have a look at those 3 different things and look at some warm-up activities that we can do to turn on the heart, the muscles and the brain. So we're going to start with the heart first, and what we might be able to do to raise our heart rate or pulse. So this activity is making us think about lots of different sports that we might like to do. And I know at the moment it might be a little bit tricky to do some of those sports, but we can try and adapt them, so mix them up, change them, and still do them at home. So there's going to be athletics, and we're going to do an activity for athletics. So if I call out athletics, or athlete, on that spot in the space that you're in, you're going to do some jogging, and if you're feeling really active, you can turn it into high knees or even running fast on the spot if you'd like to. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So athlete or athletics, this is the action I'd like you to do. So hips to lips with those thumbs and getting those knees up nice and high, landing nice and softly on the balls of our feet. The next one is going to be skier. It's nice and cold outside at the moment, so it does feel like we could be out there skiing. So if I call out skier, we're going to do some ski jumps from side to side, 2 feet to 2 feet in the spot that we're in. That's what this is going to look like. So we're going to keep our knees together and our feet together and jump side to side like we're going around the slalom as a skier. So number 1 is athlete or athletics. Number 2 is skier or ski jumper. Number 3 is going to be a boxer, okay? And we're going to do some jabs for that. So we're going to get into a nice position where we're nice and solid, feet apart, knees bent, and all we're going to do is jab the arms forward, okay? Tucking the thumbs in and nice and soft on our feet and our knees. So that is boxer. The next one is going to be swimmer, okay? It's really difficult to get to the swimming pool. I'm sure that you feel like you'd really like to do that, so we're going to have a go at doing some swimming at home. So we're going to do this on our tummies, and we're going to try and do either a front crawl, which is this one, or the breaststroke, which is this arm action. And if you're feeling really energetic, you can not only use your arms, but also use your legs to create these swimming actions or swimming strokes as well. So lay you down on your tummy, you're going to create the action of the different strokes. Okay? If you're feeling like that could get a little tiring, you can just work on the arms. Like I said, if you're feeling energetic, you can work on the arms and the legs at the same time. Wow. So we've got athlete, we've got skier, we've got boxer, and we've got swimmer. So there's 4 different sports there and 4 different athletes that we need to remember, and try and remember the action that matches. Okay, now this is going to be quite tiring on the heart, so it's going to get that heart beating faster and getting that blood pump around the body like we're hoping it should do in our pulse raising exercise part of the warm-up. Are we ready, everybody? Pace yourselves, okay, because it will go on for a little while, and see how you get on. Let's start with athletics or athlete. So landing on the balls of your feet, hips to lips with those thumbs, and it's up to you if you want to get the knees up a little bit higher, seeing how you feel. Okay, try and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth when you're running to relax your body, because you don't want to just breathe in and out through your mouths. Okay, so this is our athlete or athletics, and now we're going to move on to boxer. So this is our jabs, forward, punching forward with both arms. It's up to you what sort of speed you want to do that. Obviously, the faster you go, the more tiring it's going to be. Try and keep yourself light on your feet, nice soft knees, nice soft ankles. So this is our boxer, athlete, boxer. Good stuff. And now skier, who remembers that action? So our ski jump, knees together, feet together. You can hold your ski poles out in front of you as well. Try and make your body really quick, really agile, really bouncy. Good job, everybody. Boxer. Skier. Okay, this is one we haven't done yet. Swimmer. With that one coming down to the floor. Remember, you can do it as front crawl or as breaststroke. It's up to you. You're feeling tired, sit with the arms. You're feeling energetic, arms and legs. Then you can change the stroke if you want to breaststroke or front crawl. Skier. Back to our ski jumps. Nice soft knees, 2 feet to 2 feet. Athlete. Swimmer. Back down to the floor. Remember, working those arms if you're feeling tired. Boxer. Back up onto your feet, jabbing. And if you know any others, you could try a hook, just round to the side, or even an uppercut, which is underneath. Athlete. Skier. Athlete. Boxer. Okay, whew, that's quite a tiring pulse raiser. Hopefully it does what it says on the tin, that your heart is now beating faster because more blood is getting pumped around to those working muscles. You're probably breathing a bit deeper and a bit heavier now, because as well as working your heart, you're also working other vital organs like your lungs, because you're having to breathe in and out quicker and faster, and those lungs are having to work harder. You can obviously do that for as long as you like, that activity, and you can add in maybe some of your own activities. Just what I'm thinking of now, you could also have a cyclist where you're lying on your back and working those legs as well as if you're cycling, because it's a bit difficult sometimes to get out on our bikes, so we might be able to do those sort of activities indoors too. So pause the video if you'd like to have another go at our pulse raising exercise warm-up number 1. Okay, moving on to warm-up number 2. So we've got our heart beating faster through our pulse raiser. The blood's pumped to the muscles now, and now we need to make sure that we're stretching those muscles to be ready for our PE lesson or our sporting activity. So warm-up number 2 is going to be concentrating on the muscles, okay? And in this one, we're going to do a bear walk on our hands and our feet in the space that we're in. And we're going to try and do that moving around the room, so try and travel as far as we can. Okay, let's have a little look what that looks like. So we're going to be on our hands and our feet, and try and keep your hands flat, and moving around as if we're crawling like a bear. And you can go sideways, You can go backwards, forwards, in whichever direction you like, okay? So that's the basic, first of all. So if everyone would like to have a go at the bear walk, just to make sure that yours look like mine and you feel fairly comfortable doing that. Again, it is quite a tiring exercise, so I don't expect you to do that for very long. So walking on those hands and feet like you're traveling like a bear. Okay, super. So now you know what the bear looks like. Now, if I say switch, you're going to switch from having your tummy down on your bear crawl to having your tummy up on a dish shape that you may remember from a gymnastics lesson. Okay, and a dish shape makes a bowl with your body where you're lying on your back this time, so tummy upwards, and you're hopefully going to have your arms and legs off of the floor to make your body into a dish shape. And the straighter you can get your arms and legs, the better this looks, okay, and the harder it works your tummy muscles in particular. So this is what the dish looks like. Laying on your back with your arms and legs off of the floor, okay, and trying to get them as straight as you can. The lower you have your legs, the harder it is. So if you have your legs up here, makes it a little bit easier. You have your legs low down like this, makes it more challenging. Okay, and if you find that one really hard, you could also just stick with your arms if you want, rather than your legs and arms at the same time. So we're going to travel like a bear, and when I say switch, you're going to get into that dish shape, and you're going to hold that dish shape until I tell you to switch again to go back into your bear walk. So basically, switch is the key word that we're listening out for, everybody. Okay, let's get ready in our bear walk. So on our hands and our feet with our tummies down. And remember, you can travel in any direction you like. Just be careful of the things around you. Okay, guys, let's go. So walking, I'm traveling to my left. Try going backwards, forwards, switch. So on our backs, tummy to the ceiling, holding that dish shape, and switch. Back up onto our hands and our feet again, bear walking. Switch. Excellent, make your body into a really nice strong dish shape. Switch. Back into your bear. Any direction you like. Try and cover as much of the floor or the area as you can. Switch. Back into your dish. All there. And remember, the lower you get your legs, the more challenging it is. Switch. Back into your bear walk. Okay, and freeze there. So now we've got our bear walk, we've got our dish shape. So our bear walk, think about what muscles you're really working hard when you're travelling in that bear walk or bear crawl. Don't know about you, but I can really feel that in the tops of my thighs, my quadricep muscle. Starting to feel it in my arms as well, my biceps in particular. And when you do your dish shape, when you hold that still position lying on your back, think about what muscles are really tightening, contracting, working when you try and hold that shape. I don't know about you, but it's my abdominals, my tummy muscles that really work hard in my dish shape. Okay, we're going to add another layer onto our activity. So we're going to keep the bear walk, we're going to keep the dish shape, and this time I'm going to say either the number 2 or the number 3 instead of switch, or as well as switch. Now, if I say 2 or 3, you're going to try and hold a balance on either 2 body parts touching the floor, so in contact with the floor, or 3 body parts touching the floor. And like in gymnastics, we're going to try and hold that body shape as still and as controlled as we can. So try not to wobble until I say, go again, and then you can go back into your bear walk again. So I'll help you with this. So we mainly just need to remember switch and number 2 or 3 for the number of body parts we need to balance on. Okay, let's begin in our bear walk again. So moving around the room, hands and feet, tummy down. 3. So you're going to try and balance with 3 body parts touching the floor. So I'm going to do 2 feet and 1 hand, and I can already feel that working my muscles, particularly in my tummy and the arm that's touching the floor. Okay, back to your bear walk. Switch. So don't forget that one. Back into the dish shape. Arms and legs off the floor, nice and straight. And switch. Back into your bear walk. 2. Well, this time only 2 body parts touching the floor. That makes it much harder. Try and keep your balance. Good stuff. And if you try and do opposite foot to opposite hand, your body will hopefully stay a little bit stiller because you've equally distributed your balance and your weight. So back to the bear walk now. Switch. Back into that dish. And bear walk. And 3. So back to 3 body parts. This time I'm in fact going to try 2 hands and 1 foot to make it a bit different. Okay, and freeze there. Ooh. And you again can make that as long as you like by adding in extra number of body parts if you wanted to. So have 1 or 4, so changing up the number of body parts that you balance on. And you can also change up the bear walk and make it, say, a bunny hop, where you travelled on hands, then feet around the room to mix it up. There's even a duck walk as well, which is a really tricky one, where you keep your body really low and just walk on those feet with the knees bent. So be creative here, 3, 4, and see what other ways that you can travel around the room before you do the numbers and your dish shape. Awesome, so hopefully now your muscles are nice and warm too. And I'm still breathing quite deeply and heavily, and I still know that my heart is beating fast as well. So we've raised the pulse, we've raised the breathing rate, and now our muscles are nicely warm and stretched and ready. So the last thing we're going to do is turn on the brain, ready for our PE lesson or sporting activity, because that's really important too. And sometimes we forget that the brain needs to be switched on as well as the body. So this one is called body alphabet, okay? It lowers our heart rate a little bit, but it makes us think and also still uses our muscles. So you're going to use your body to create different letters or shapes that I call out. And I want you to try and be as creative as possible, year 3, 4, and try and use as much of your body as you can, rather than just say your hand. It could be on a low level on the floor, it could be on a medium level halfway up, or it could be on a high level standing up. And try and mix up the different levels that you choose. I'll help you to start with by doing some of the letters with you, and then see what you guys can come up with as well. Okay, let's begin with an easy one. Can you make an O shape with your body? So it could be on anybody, any level you want. I'm going to do it on a low level, and I'm going to do it in sort of a butterfly stretch shape with my feet and my legs. So I put my feet together, and then I've created the O shape using my legs. Is your O the same or different to mine? Maybe it's standing up instead. Okay, the next letter is going to be a different one. It's going to be an X. This time I'm going to do it on a high level. I'm going to do it jumping. So standing up, jumping off the floor, arms and legs apart to make my X shape. You might do it laying down on your back in a bit like our dish shape, but this time arms and legs off. Or alternatively, this way round like our swimmer. Okay, again, be as creative as you can. So we've had O and we've had X. Right, let's try another one. Let's see if you can come up with some of your own ideas this time. The next one we're going to do is a C, a K. Can you make a C with your body? So this is a curved letter, curved shape. How are you going to curve your body into those particular positions? Awesome. So you might do it on a low level on the floor. Maybe you're curving your body on a medium or high level. Good stuff. And if there's somebody else doing it with you, have they chosen to do the C shape in a different way to the way you have? Or have you both chosen to do it the same? Okay, are we ready for the next letter, guys? The next letter, a little bit trickier this time, is we're going to go for a G, a G. So you could do a capital G, or you could do a lowercase, a smaller g. You choose. What is your G going to look like? What level is it going to be on? Remember, it's got a bit of a curve around the top, and then it curves underneath if you're doing a lowercase g. Again, challenge people in your household if they're there. See which ways that they create their G shapes, and pause the video at any time. Okay, we'll do one more together, and then maybe you can have a go at challenging yourselves as well. This time, we are going to do the letter N. N. Again, it could be lowercase or can be a capital N. How are you going to create the N shape with your body? If it's lowercase, it's quite curved. And if it's a capital, oh, it's quite sharp and straight. So how are you going to create those straight lines with your body? Might need an extra person to help you. So if there's someone in your household, could you work together as a team to create that N shape with your bodies? Here's another challenge as well. If you have got another sibling in your house or somebody else that's doing the video with you, maybe you can see if you can create some short words as well with your body. Some maybe 2 letters or 3 letter words to see if you can work together as a team as well. Awesome job. So today we've gone through why we warm up. So I wonder if you can remember some of the reasons why we might warm up, and think about the 3 different types of warm up that we've done today. What was the first one? Ooh, I think it turns up my heart. It got my heart ready for exercise because we had to work really hard as our boxers and our skiers and our athletes and our swimmers. So that one definitely worked the heart. Okay, so that was a cardiovascular warm-up that raised our pulse. What was our second warm-up today? What part of our body did that really work, and what did we use there? I remember doing the dish shape, and I remember doing the bear walk or bear crawl. Hopefully you're thinking muscles like I am, because it worked lots of different muscles in your body to make sure they were nice and warm and stretched, ready for your PE lesson. And then what was the last warm-up we've just done? Well, we had a bit of fun with body alphabet. We still worked our muscles. We had to do something else as well. Yeah, we had to turn our brains on. We had to do some thinking skills for our body alphabet as well as using our body. Okay, so that's the end of today's session. At any point, you can pause the video and have a go at any of those warm-ups again, or challenge anybody in your household. In our next PE lesson, we're going to see if we can fuse or combine the head, the heart, and the muscles into some fusion warm-ups that I'm going to show you, and then you're going to have a go at creating for yourselves. In the meantime, stay safe, stay active, stay healthy.